Hello, everyone. So, my group's topic was preventing sex trafficking and strengthening families act.
What is sex trafficking? Trafficking for the main purpose of sexual exploitation, individuals are forced to conduct sexual acts that they do not agree on. It is known as modern slavery, higher rates in areas for poverty. Victims of trafficking can be women or men, girls or boys of different ages. Commonly occur in the foster care system. This image is a quote that says human trafficking is happening in the United States. Children are being sex trafficked every day. This next picture is by the numbers shown of human trafficking in 2021. It shows 10,583 human trafficking cases reported, and it shows 13,594 calls for victims and survivors. The three states which had the highest cases reported: California standing with 1,334, Texas with 987 cases, and Florida 738.
So, what is the social problem? Well, sex trafficking is an international issue, and this issue has been going on for years. There's no specific gender, age, but it mainly targets children across the world. But anyone can be a victim of sex trafficking.
The policy Sex Trafficking and Strengthening Families Act identifies and assists children that are on the verge of being victims, help better the welfare system for children and protection of children, prevent the abuse that is happening within the foster care system. The Article 1 is promoting normacy for foster children and preventing sex trafficking and strengthening family act. The purpose of this act is to bring the awareness to the normacy of foster children have lacked in, show how hard it has been for the children to be able to participate in normal things, let children be able to get out of their foster care system to be able to feel what it is like to not be controlled by adults that to them are strangers, help these children gain trust in adults despite of their trauma, promote healthy relationships and healthy development stages that will ease the trauma. So this article speaks a little bit more based on like allowing the children to be part of normal things children do, so they don't feel like they are different from their peers, allowing them to, for example, do curricular activities, be example to make decisions on their own, obviously with the guidance of the parent, guardian, or the adult that is in their care, but also allowing them to kind of have that little normacy into their life because they're already struggling with being in foster care. So it's just bringing them to be a little bit normal for them.
So, the second article is titled Preventing Sex Trafficking and Strengthening Families, and it was written in 2017. Some of the highlights from this article focused on the high statistics of sex trafficking that are on the rise, and to this day, they are still on the rise. This article also talks about being able to help strengthen and reunite families with their children, and their children have most likely been victims of sex trafficking. Some of the characteristics of these victims are children who are part of the foster care system and children who have ran away from their home. But, like previously mentioned, it can affect anyone. Anyone can be targeted.
In what ways do the articles address the policies issue? Identification and assistance for children who are victims or at risk of trafficking, system responses for runaways from the foster care, understand the risk factors, know what to do and who to contact to report it, expand awareness in your community, understand how vulnerable communities are impacted, The programs that help with trafficking, to start off, is Rescue and Restore, the the Trafficking Victim Assistance Program, Coalition to Abolish Slavery and Trafficking, Sex Trafficking Prevention and Intervention Organization, Survival Leadership. And also there's also call free, text free, or live chat to report any cases of trafficking.
So here's a number and website to call about human trafficking. Feel free to take a picture. We'll keep it on for a few moments. And in this picture, it says Save the Day. It's by a campaign that help prevents human trafficking. And it says that to wear blue on January 11th and help end human trafficking. This other image shows that human trafficking is happening in the United States. It's happening everywhere. And like previously mentioned, it can happen to anyone, no matter their race, age, or gender. So we always have to know to be careful. So, in conclusion, sex trafficking is a major issue that we see in our daily lives. The states need to be held more responsible for doing more for our children that are going missing. The agency should extend its education programs to other community members and people in the community to help for the identification of victims, like being able to identify them if they know them, if they're part of their family, neighbors, and whatnot. And the programs help aid individuals who are struggling and can and will prevent runaways and becoming victims that are trafficked. And here are the references we use for our presentation and our paper. Thank you so much for your time.